to the report and get my Camtasia running. Looking at the daily charts, just the dailies. No, this is hourly. Top down. I do this every day. Of course, now there we go. Kind of in this mid-range of this move right here between the highs and lows. If we would put, we did this last week, I believe. We put in Fibonacci retracement on the highs against the lows, and we're trading mid-range now. Pretty close to it, right? So 50%, we're pretty much on top of it. And we're going to be staying on top of this number until probably after the release. Is it going to run up to 62, 3, 4, up to, are we going this way? Are we coming down? And the third option is we're going to stay sideways for a while. So I can see it doing anything right now, and that's kind of the advantage of being a day trader, is that you can, if you can see it going, I can see it moving up, I can see it coming down, I can see it going sideways. All three of these things can happen. So if we look at Fibonacci's right now, a movement up takes us to about what, 63, 69, and a move down takes us into the 55 range. So that's kind of long term, where I should say long term as a day trader, where the market could run to, or obviously it gets hang out where it's hanging out right now at where we are at the 50% retracement line. So we're either going up here, we're coming down here, or we're staying where we are. That's kind of the thought process right now that I've got going in my head. Of course, we want to see, personally, I want to see volume help me guide me which way I want to trade. Now moving down to the hourly charts. This is where I can pop in the 200 bar, start looking at where the market can run to. So for now, what we can say about the market at this point, I want to get rid of the Fibonacci's right now. I don't want them cluttering up my charts today. We basically know where the market can go and where the Fibonacci 50% is hanging out. Hasn't really changed. It has been at 59.62 roughly. The S1 is in range in the 200 bar SMA off of the hourly chart. And then you can see R1 up here at 60.60. As far as Gann numbers that can be run today, the golden ratio number, we got 61.22 on the long and 58.85 on the short. Let me write that down here. 61.22 on the long. We got 58.85 on the short. That's your Gann golden ratio number. It's square of 9 ratio is what I use. It's 137.5 degree angle. So that would be a big run today. As far as opening ranges right now and 12p move, extreme movement today would bring it to 62.17 on the long, and extreme movement down would bring it to 57.89 today. Set up for a 6p move, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. Moving down to the 15-minute chart from the hourly chart. Once again, we can see where the 200 bar is resting right now, about the 59.50 range. So that's a number to be thinking about right now, 59.50. And then we see the S1 and S2 coming down through here. On the long side, we have R1 up here, R1 located at 60.60. So obviously, I don't know what the report's going to release. No one knows. Well, I would say no one. I'm sure somebody knows. But we can see where 15 minutes is hanging out here. So the 200 bar SMA is trailing this movement at 59.50 roughly, 59.51. So that's our downside pressure perhaps to reach down. And the upside pressure being 60.60 to R1. And then last but not least is our 5-minute chart. And we can see our 5-minute charts hanging out right on top of the 200 bar SMA. So it's a non-factor pretty much coming into the trade session. Pivot point is in play, right? So we've been around this pivot point for a while. Pretty much all of session, we've been hanging around the pivot. And you can see the magnetism of the pivot point being in play here pretty much the whole session. We've been here, down here once, up, down twice, down once and up, and now back to it again. So we've been down the pivot 3 times, been up the pivot. I'm not really considering this one. I guess we could say we've been up the pivot twice. But I would say we've been down the pivot 3 times and up the pivot once. As far as ranges right now we're looking at, that's about where we are. We're looking at R1 to S1. R1 located today at 60.60, S1 at 59.26. So those are both in play. I'm going to take my ugly mug off here. That'll widen the screen out for you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll type answers or I'll talk about it. I'm going to take my finger off the mic here. And we're pretty much waiting on the report to come out. The report will be coming out about 18 minutes from now. So without any questions, I'll pretty much be standing aside waiting until about 9:25 right now. About 12 minutes from now, and we'll start getting ready to trade this. Now, as far as Top Step Trader goes, if those that know I trade at Top Step Trader. I'm in the combine. I'm sitting at about 771 right now, closing in on that 2,000 mark. So hopefully, if I get a little bit of luck today, I could actually get close to the number today, 2,000 mark. So that's kind of the overall goal right now. Hitting the combine number and moving on to FTP. All right, well, I don't see any questions right now, so what I'm going to do is pause. 1463 is the number today. We need to beat 1463 is this blue bar volume right here. We need to beat that number. Turning Camtasia on. All right, we're about 2 minutes from the report, less than 2 minutes now. Remember, rule Top Step Traders, you got to wait a minute. Got to wait for 9:31 to input an order. So the question is, how do you know when the report's out? Well, just watch. All right, less than a minute now. Wow, that's a little number. 2.8, 1.1. Red bar is not, it's the highest volume bar, but it's not better than the blue. Blue is 1400. Red's only 12. 1261. That didn't even beat the bar on the, that didn't even beat the bar that's been higher. Pretty non-existent number right now. Right now I want to be short from 59.81. Blue's higher than red still. $59.84 to short. $59.84 to short. Highest blue bar is at 1400, 1463. Highest red's at 1261. Favors the short side right now. One tick positive slippage. We'll plug in 59.84 though. 59.66 is number one. 1P is 59.66. Down and through it, moving to break even. $59.48, next target. $59.48, next target. $59.62 is that sticking point. We'll see if it has enough power to get through there. hold on. Only went down 1p and it moved up. I was quicker to move to break even today because the volume was pretty light. Like to see a higher number. I just don't like it today. That's very low. This number is lower. What am I talking about? Let me get my screen draw tool out and hopefully we can put both of these on. I can barely see it, but we can see it. So if we look over here against this, kind of works like a tiebreaker. The difference between the two of those bars is 202. It's almost like they covered. The shorts covered right there, and now we need another volume bar to kick in. So I don't know if we'll just have to take it and see what happens here. I'm not sure exactly which way I want to go with this, but right now blue is higher than red. When in doubt, stay out, right? We already tried the short, and it's low volume. Low volume off the report. Pausing video here. Camtasia. So I need a volume bar. I need volume to exceed 1.4K or 1400. So we need really to get me interested in trading right now. I'd like to see a 2000 plus volume bar spike to want to be in the market right now. Otherwise, I'm standing aside. I'm going to take my small gain and just watch the market right now. It's not conducive to trade right now. This volume and the report did not give you any help. And being a momentum driven person, which means velocity to me, there was no velocity or MOMO to hold this trade. So best place to be is sidelines. Any questions? Pausing Camtasia. Actually, I'm going to stop the video here. CL pitch strategy for today is over. We ended up with +2. It would have probably been just a break-even trade without the positive slippage. So +2 is really +0 today. So commission cost, maybe I get +1. All right, so Camtasia. We took the lows. I'm just doing this for came off this mark right here. Used the GAN signal. We saw the volumes kicking in here. We saw the blue one here. And this is where I saw the perceived low comes in at this point in time. We used this as a turning point, and we looked at not much interest down here, volume related, to drive it lower. Okay, and then we're looking for a 3p move up to 43, it looks like. That'd be half the range that we went down. A little bit. Actually, half the range down is, what did I say, 50, low is 58.81. So 59.52 is half range. Right there. So that's be half range. So we move down 8. We can move up possibly 4. Okay, a 2p move right here. Let's go ahead and lock in a couple extra ticks here. All right, let's look at this low, 59.15. Minus 3 is 59.12. We're going to hold at 59.12 right now. It's about as close as I want to be to the market right now. 59.12. You can see our target, 59.43 up here. When we get close to 43, then I'm going to be protecting 27. So in low ADR, which we're still on low, it's still 1.46. Up moves can go about 2 to 3p roughly. So we're right on top of where it could be. Moving up here, knowing I can get taken out. We run 2p. We went up through it. So this can be the possible swing top before we head back down again. Doesn't mean we're done. I just want to take as much profit as I can on this trade. Because I'm in the hole. All right, I'm out. So I end the day up plus 17. I was in the hole down 13. I've had 5 trades on. I'm okay with that. That puts me almost at half the way to combine related. I'm at 39.23 now. I was in the hole for the most part. I wish I could have held on to that short because that was the good trade. Ideally, I think this market has more upside potential left in it, up to 52-ish range. But I wanted to take profits while they were there. Record this. What I wanted to see when I got in was a quick escalation up to price around 2 to 3. We saw a quick escalation to 1, and then we saw it slow down a little bit. So this is probably telling you that there's a retracement coming back. And is it going to retrace down to the lows? Is it going to retrace down to these lines? I have no idea. But like I said, average range of movement on an up and low volatility is about 2p. And that translates out today about 36 ticks. Average range of movement on a down is about 3p. And today that translates out to 53. So that's what the ADR is telling me today. Yeah, I'd been more than happy to knock myself out at 27 here, guys and gals. All right, so let me go back through my questions, and I'm going to wrap it up here. Save my voice. think I covered everything until I kicked red out of the room. Let's go back. Alright, so I think that's where I kicked them out. So Russ says still can clean out 59.50, but 60 for me was the first strong buy at the same time. We need to see price action above the 59.89, and that has yet to happen, leaving 59.50. I agree to that. 59.62 was where I believe they're, I'm thinking long. Alright, let's carry that. So high volume precedes momentum wave, you right, is that the gist? Yes, Russ. So Russ asks, so high volume, I call it high volume spike, precedes a momentum wave you ride. Yes, that's true. You just messed a trade off of 59.57, the lows. No, forget that guy. Let me get rid of him again. No. I'm done with that. I'm just ignoring all the crap that Red wrote. Just give me a second. We just hit the 88.4% CL and SCAP for plus 20. Since inside the zone, the runners ride for the big target. True. Russ says, lot of lap, I don't get it. You give someone a chance to look, and they berate it. Surprised it took you that long to kick him out. Haha. Mr. Martin is, go ahead, Dave. Don't worry, we're here to learn. Thank you. 926 volume. All right, so Kim asks, what is a breakout considered to break BEE? Is the purple line shown above an average? The purple line is Bollinger Band. It just helps me define the highway. So there's my target, man. If I could just held on to. I probably would have taken out 27 there and been happy at 2P move. I'm still happy about where my exit was. I was in the hole. If I wasn't in the hole, I would have went after a 3P target. And right now I would have trailed 2 to 3. So I would have been sitting at 27 or 43, whatever would hit me first. And that would have been if I was positive on the day. What is a breakout? Purple line above. This is a Bollinger Band. This is the high of the range. So this defines what I call a highway. And it looks like a highway on the charts. So I use concept, the wave theory, wave principle, whatever you'll look at. And there's a couple things that I want to see, right? Let's go back to this trade right here where I got in. I used this volume bar back here to start initiating my trade sequences back here. I think I had a trade prior to this, but this is where I started seeing here's where I wanted to start looking for the longs. Since I wasn't short, if I could have held the short though, that would be a good question. If I could have held the short, where would I have exited? My exit would have been 59.11 plus, would have been right around that 21 mark. That would have been my exit on all shorts. 59.21. I would have used the low of the day come up here to the blue 200 bar SMA. The low is right here, 59.11, and added 10. So that would bring you up to 59.21. That would have been exit on all shorts at that point. And that would have been based on this bar right here becoming highest volume bar on the trading day. So I'm looking to go long after this, but this doesn't necessarily mean the market's done going down. When you see this, it just signifies that it could be done. And then now you can see it, right? Here's this against this, kind of a divergence forming. So when we made lower lows, it didn't confirm with the Williams percent R. By the way, this is Williams percent R. It didn't confirm with the Williams percent R. And basically what I did is I traded divergence and went long. And I used what I believe was an important number, the 5885 today, which was the Gann's golden ratio number. That's the 137.5 degree angle. Since I couldn't catch the short side trade, I went with the long. I don't know if that makes sense, but that was my reasoning behind why I did what I did. So I missed the short. It got away from me and went on down. Is the blue bar a filter you use? The blue bar, this blue bar is a 200 bar SMA on a closed basis. Do you watch indexes at all? No. I'm looking through questions. Let's go back to current market. Did we reach 43? Nope. This is where I'd be. I'd be at 43.27. If I missed any questions going through here, just ask again. I apologize. I'm going through this stuff. Love Gann and cycles. Okay, thanks. I have the spreadsheet too, but it has collected dust. Never looked on it such as a fast time frame. Go Dave. Thank you, Kim. Up, up, and away. Bradley Cohen's a black hole. Yeah. If you start reading Gann, you're going to be in a black hole too, so be careful. Because he'll start talking about astrological stuff. Be careful when you go into him. You'll start getting into the moon phases and sun phases and all kinds of astrological points. I would tell you to skip all that crap. Sorry, I was blabbing a bit. It's okay, Russ. I appreciate you being in the room today, guys, and every gals and who's over here. I apologize for having to kick somebody out, but he was interfering with my trading. I don't mind a lively conversation, but there's a time and place for it. It did run 43 right there, so that would be my exit on the trade if I could have held it. Probably moved a little too close to the market. I should have held right around this mark. If I would have been perfect and held, I would have held 59.09 until he ran 2, and then I would have moved up behind it and then got out. If I wouldn't have been in the hole, I would have held a little bit stronger, but I was scared of the S1 line. knowing that our average range of movement is about a 2p on the up move recently. So I was kind of scared. And this is that right there, 52 is that's half of the move up, by the way. I mean, that's half of the range. Let me rephrase this. That 52 is half the move. There was eight. Let's rephrase it this way. There was roughly 143 ticks of down movement today. If you register the high against the low, 60.022 to 60.022 minus, I think the low was right there, right? 5881. 141 ticks. And what I looked at is half of that range on the up. So the upside potential was about right here. So the upside potential ran half the range. So this would have been my exit no matter what. Between 43 to 52. Half the range that we went down. I mean, excuse me. We went about 140 ticks down. I expect the market could run back if it wants to half of that. So that was about 70 and a half. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it, Russ. Yeah, I wish I would have been able to hold the short because that was the better trade. I just didn't see the market. If I could have held it, ideally I'd like to have seen back here. If I go back to the setup, this short, this bar right here was still lower than the other bar that came out. That's why I went short. So the retracement comes back to here, right? I think it came back one other time. This would have been a tough one to hold because it comes up here, goes down, comes up again, and then it sells off. So that was a tough one to hold because basically right here could have been the turning point. When it ran through here, who's to say that that was going to stop this up move? I don't know enough. So that's why I ended up getting out. Ideally, I'd like to have seen it stay below the pivot and come on down. And then I would have looked like I'm a superstar. So in the end, I just had to pick off the low as best I could. And then know what your ranges are, right? What can you expect the market to do in any given day? Well, if it goes down 140 ticks, there's a possible that it can come up half of that. And that's just basic trading 101, right? Find your mark, find a place that you like, and trade it. For me today was the Gann number. So everything beyond this point is just gravy if I would have stayed in it. And the only way I'd have been staying in this trade, to be honest with you at this point, if I had a trailer on. It's really hard to have a trailer at Top Step Trader on the 30K though, because if you're wrong, you're doubly wrong. Instead of down 13 ticks, I would have been down minus 26 coming to that last trade. So it makes it really hard, and it starts to wear on you a little bit when you try to figure out how to run with a 2-contract series. So personally, I don't think that it pays to trade 2 contracts at Top Step Trader until you're funded and you have enough money to bank and you make them change the rules. So in other words, if you have a 500, what I plan on doing, and they kind of agreed with me before, once I get enough money in the account, when I add that next contract in and funded, is to have 500 per contract loss. So in other words, instead of a $500 max daily loss, if I start trading, they give me 1,000 max daily loss and funded. So basically, in the nutshell, I've made enough in the funded account for them to allow me to have 500 per contract. So they, quote unquote, told me that they would do that. They work with other traders. That once you get there and you start making money, you can kind of, they'll work with you because you're working in your profits. But most of my problems have come in all these accounts personally because I added a second contract. I apologize. I'm going to have to go here. When I started adding a second contract to my trading strategy on the 30K, that's where I started having problems. All right, I'm losing my voice. I'm going to go now. If you have any questions, I'm going to take my thing off the mic. But I appreciate everybody that was here today. Thank you for being. If you have any final questions, put it into the chat box down here, and I'll answer. But I'm starting to lose my voice. Talk to y'all later. Be back next Wednesday.